There's something I've come to realize in these silver years of mine. Something quiet, something unspoken. It's this: everyone notices what you do when you're old. They just won't tell you. They're watching the way you walk, the words you say, how you treat others, how you carry your pain, your joy, your silence. But they stay silent. And today, I want to speak for them. I want to speak to you. Hello, my friend. If you're over 50, or maybe even 60, 70, or beyond, you've entered the season where every gesture, every smile, every sigh holds weight. This video is for you. This is not a lecture, not a sermon. This is one old man, sitting across from you like a friend, sharing what time and silence have taught me. Today, I'll tell you the things people see in you, but never say. The quiet ways you inspire them, or burden them. The truth is, your presence at old age speaks louder than your voice ever could. Segment 1. How you carry yourself. They notice how you carry yourself. Your posture, your steps, your dignity. They notice if you've given up or if you're still fighting for life, inch by inch. I once knew an old woman named Mama Ruth. She was 84. Her back bent, her hands shook, but her eyes were fierce. Every morning she walked with a cane, but never with shame. And I'll tell you, everyone on our street respected her, though no one ever said it aloud. Your posture tells people whether you still believe in yourself. When you slouch through life, they assume you've surrendered. But when you stand, however slowly, however shakily, with intention, you tell the world you haven't given up. Even the way you sit can teach others about dignity. Do you slump into chairs and avoid eye contact? Or do you look up, offer your smile, and sit like your story still matters? Because it does. At old age, your body might slow down, but your presence speaks louder than ever. People notice whether you walk with quiet strength or retreat into yourself. It's not just about standing tall, but about standing present, with dignity, with grace, with purpose. Even if your back is bent, let your spirit stay upright. When you walk into a room with calm, measured steps, and lift your head to meet someone's eyes, you remind the world that age is not defeat, it's distinction. How you carry yourself tells a silent story. Make it one of courage. Your clothes, your grooming, even the way you hold a conversation, all reflect how much you value yourself and your season of life. It doesn't mean being flashy or perfect. It means showing that you still honor who you are. Clean clothes, brushed hair, a warm expression, these small things carry big messages. They say, I still care. And when you care for yourself, others are inspired to care too. So walk like your presence matters, because it does. Move with grace, even if it's slow. Sit with purpose, smile with meaning, and stand not just on your feet, but in your worth. Segment 2. How you speak. Your words now echo deeper than ever before. People listen not because you're loud, but because they want to learn from your silence, your pauses, your tone. I once overheard a grandfather say to his grandson, "Son, don't raise your voice, improve your argument." That stuck with me. You see, as you grow older, your words hold history. They come wrapped in memory. Every sentence you speak has a lifetime behind it. That's why tone matters more than volume. It's not about how much you say, but how deeply you speak. Bitterness pushes people away, but gentleness draws them in. Speak with calm, speak with care. Even correction, when given in love, becomes a seed that grows wisdom. But anger, even if justified, burns bridges. And let me tell you something I've learned late in life. You don't always need to be right. You need to be kind. People remember how you made them feel, more than what you told them. Ask more than you instruct. Laugh more than you complain. Speak of beauty more than burdens. When you do speak, let it be life-giving. I try to speak less now, but I speak softer too. I ask questions instead of giving answers. You see, wisdom isn't about always knowing, it's about listening. So speak like someone who has seen storms and still believes in the sunrise. Because when you speak with love, even a whisper is remembered. Segment 3. How you react to pain and change. Growing old brings changes, aches, losses, slower days, unfamiliar faces, but what people really notice is how you react. I remember when my friend Samuel lost his wife. After 50 years of marriage, he could have become angry at the world, but he chose to become softer. He kept showing up to the community hall, helping young boys with their homework, baking bread for church events. He never once said, "I'm doing fine," but his actions told us, "I'm still choosing life." Pain doesn't end you, it reveals you. Aging is not just about what happens to you, but how you respond to it. Are you bitter or better, closed off or open-hearted, withdrawn or still giving? People, especially young people, are watching how you deal with loss, how you cope with change, how you rebuild joy from brokenness. They're learning how to face their own future storms by watching how you walk through yours. And remember this, you don't have to hide your pain. Vulnerability is strength. When you share your grief honestly, but choose grace over grudge, you show a powerful kind of resilience. So the next time life disappoints you, respond with grace, respond with hope. Show others that even in loss, you can choose love. Show that your spirit still breathes, even when your heart is aching. You are not just surviving pain, you're shaping how others will survive theirs. Segment 4. How you treat others. There's no more powerful lesson than kindness. You may think people aren't watching, but when you open a door for someone, when you say thank you, when you smile at a clerk or tip the waiter well, it teaches them more than any speech. But they also notice the opposite. If you become impatient, rude, dismissive, that speaks volumes too. I once stood in a post office line behind an older man, yelling at a young staff member for moving too slow. The whole room shrank, not because of the volume, but the bitterness. You have the power to uplift or discourage with every interaction. Choose to be someone who leaves people better than you found them. You see, people don't forget how you made them feel. Whether it's the neighbor you greet with a kind word, or the cashier you thank with sincerity, those moments leave marks. And at this stage of life, you've lived enough to know, kindness doesn't cost, but it pays endlessly. So be the one who remembers names. Be the one who forgives quickly. Be the one who shares a smile, even when your day is hard. Be the one who shows respect to those younger than you, not to demand reverence, but to model it. When people see you treat others with grace, they learn how to live with grace themselves. Segment 5. Your habits, your health, your energy. Your daily habits are your loudest teacher. Do you eat well, move your body, rest your mind, or do you live on autopilot? I began walking at sunrise at 65. At first, it was for my heart. Then it became for my soul. Now, kids in the neighborhood wave when they see me. One even joined me last week. Your habits inspire others, even silently. How you eat, how you sleep, how you care for your body. All these choices are noticed, even if no one speaks a word. When your grandchildren see you still stretching, still drinking water, still getting sunlight on your face, they learn that health isn't something you give up on. It's something you grow into. And it's not just physical health. Are you taking care of your mental peace? Do you guard your thoughts from bitterness and regret? Or do you feed your spirit with faith, gratitude, and calm? I knew a woman who began learning Tai Chi at 73. She said it made her feel younger, not because her body changed, but because her soul relaxed. Every day, her quiet movements in the park were like poetry. She taught us all that healing doesn't stop when you retire. It only begins. So build habits that speak of love for yourself. Eat not just to survive, but to nourish. Sleep not to escape, but to renew. Move not to impress, but to express life. People are watching, not to judge, but to learn. Let your habits be a silent sermon about dignity, discipline, and devotion. Segment 6. How you spend your time. Time is the rarest gift you have. People notice how you spend it. Are you stuck in front of a television all day? Or are you learning, reading, journaling, crafting, mentoring? Do you use your time to complain or to connect? Your grandchildren don't need more toys, they need your stories. Your community doesn't need your criticism, it needs your example. When people see you investing your time with intention, they learn to treasure their own. I once met a man named Elijah who spent every Saturday teaching neighborhood kids how to fish, not because he had to, but because he wanted to pass something on. No one paid him, no one asked him, but now, years later, there are young men raising children of their own, and they still talk about those mornings at the lake. You see, how you spend your time becomes your legacy. Write letters, start a journal, plant something, build something, learn something new. Join a local group or support others with your presence. Give time to what nourishes you and serves others, because wasted time is invisible, but invested time echoes through generations. And if you feel like it's too late, remember this: the most meaningful hours are often the ones we choose with wisdom, not youth. Segment 7, your presence, your legacy. Your very presence speaks volumes. You don't have to say anything. People feel your energy, your peace, your warmth, or your restlessness. What kind of memory are you becoming? Do people feel loved in your presence, or do they feel judged? Are you the person they come to for comfort, or the one they avoid out of fear? Your presence is a legacy. You write it every day, with your attitude, your silence, your hugs, your prayers, your stillness. And even if they never say it out loud, they carry a piece of you with them when they go. So live with intention, age with grace, and remember, you are still being watched, still being learned from, still being loved. You are not invisible, you are necessary. So my friend, now that you know they're watching, not with judgment, but with quiet admiration, what will you show them? Let your life be a lamp. Let your walk be a guide. Let your presence be a comfort. They may not say it, but they see you. And what you do in these years will echo long after you're gone. I want you to pause for a moment and think, not about your past, not about your pain, but about your presence. Yes, your presence. You may no longer lead meetings, run marathons, or chase big dreams, but I'll tell you a truth I've seen written on faces and felt in silences. Your presence carries more weight now than ever before. When you walk into a room, people feel it. They notice the quiet strength in your eyes. They sense your calm or your chaos. They draw from your peace or shrink from your anger. You don't need to speak to be heard. You don't need to move fast to leave an impression. Just being there, with a kind heart, a listening ear, and a soul that still chooses light, that is legacy. You are not forgotten. You are not invisible. You are not done. I once sat in a church pew, beside a woman in her 90s. She could no longer sing the hymns, her voice too frail, but when her eyes closed and a tear rolled down her cheek during Amazing Grace, it moved the whole row to silence. Her presence preached more than any sermon that day. So let me ask you, what do people feel when you enter a room? Do you bring peace or tension? Do you offer comfort or correction? Are you remembered for your stories, your warmth, your humor, or your harshness? At this stage of life, you no longer need to hustle for achievements. You are the achievement. Your very being is the gift. The way you sit and listen to a grandchild who stutters through their words. The way you greet the janitor with the same smile you once gave to CEOs. The way you choose not to gossip, but to bless. The way you reach out your hand, not because someone asked, but because you sensed they needed it. That's your legacy. It's not just what you leave behind when you're gone. It's what you leave in people while you're still here. And the beautiful thing is, you don't have to be perfect to be remembered with love. You just have to be present, with intention, with tenderness, with truth. Every prayer you whisper, every hug you give, every story you share, every time you choose to forgive, instead of hold a grudge, it builds something in others, something sacred. You are still shaping the hearts of those around you. Your silence teaches, your smile heals, your presence comforts. You may feel small, you may feel like the world has moved on, but hear me clearly, my friend, you are a lighthouse, and some soul lost in the fog of this world is looking toward you for guidance. So be still, be kind, be radiant, not for applause, not for attention, but because that's what legacy is. Quiet, powerful, enduring. Let your presence be a blessing, even in the quietest hour. Let it echo love, let it reflect grace, and know this deeply: you are still being watched, you are still being learned from, you are still being loved. Subscribe for more daily wisdom and soul-deep reflections from the voice of experience. Like, comment, and share this with someone who needs this gentle reminder today.